This is a near universal agreement that government spending is the bigger cause of the debt, with key groups like independents, Hispanics, women, and others saying that. I mean, this is amazing. Your take on it, Bob Weiner.
My take is a broader sweep, and I'm really glad the president did that quote, which you rightfully, good job, Alan, put out there as a key quote during the inaugural speech, which I was right under the stage watching, by the way. You know, before you want grandma back in your house, poverty increased among the elderly. Grandma in your house, by the way, you keeping her up, which is what used to happen. And poverty, 75% among the elderly, which is now at 7% among the elderly because of the success of Social Security and Medicare. Don't add on to the poverty of Social Security and Medicare recipients and make them our expenses again. That is an obligation we have as a country, and yes, it strengthens us. The president is exactly right.
Why is it you guys are inextricably tied to protecting these otherwise indefensible expenditures, Bob?
I agree, as long as what you said, the premise is correct, that the Republicans stop trying to cut Social Security and Medicare. And
on board as well, Robert Weiner, Democratic strategist, columnist, and former communications director for Clinton drug czar General Barry McCaffrey. He's also the former chief of staff of the House Committee on Aging. Bob, good to have you as well.
It's good to be with you too, Alan. But myth number one, Obama, big government. Question, panel. Who has made the most cuts in government and has the lowest number of federal employees since Eisenhower? Take a guess who?
I don't believe you for a minute.
Barack Obama. He has cut 500,000 employees out of the 3 million
Take
from
the
the federal employee
soldiers
workforce.
out of it.
Fact.
Take the soldiers out of it.
Fact.
There you go.
Bob, do your numbers include soldiers or not?
Military, I'm happy to cut those further.
Gephardt said in CNBC, quote, the government has a spending problem, and that needs to change. And he added, we're spending 24% of GDP, and we're taking in 16%. Your take on his observations?
Well, he's right. There is a spending problem, and your point is well taken, Alan, that the dollars spent is an issue. But I just wanted to get facts on the table of numbers of workers. But dollars spent, we can continue to cut, and we have to be more and more efficient. The point that you make regularly on the show of fraud and abuse needs to be cut. I absolutely agree. And that is a serious problem.
You track that out for 10 years. There's $3.5 trillion before you ever even touch the idea of spending cuts from any of your favorite programs or unnecessary tax increases to make up for a government that overspends and needs to blame others for their actions. Bob Weiner, your sense of it.
Well, Alan, you're so low. The $350 billion it hardly gets at the $16 trillion. You remember Clinton was actually making a surplus and ultimately getting us to a zero balance.
So if you do $350 billion a year, that's $3.5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is over twice what we're hearing from the president or Capitol Hill. Bob Weiner.
You didn't even mention what Reid adds into that, which is oil company profits and defense overcharges. So you got a lot to play with. There's no question about it.